Hello everyone, this is Helen H and welcome to my channel. Today is the third day or the third week of the Grungy Clusters collab sponsored by Susan Hiles Art. I will put her channel link below, and when you see this video, after you watch my video, you can go to her channel and then watch her video. It should be her most recent video. This is Wednesday. And then below her video will be a list of all the other people who are participating in this collab. And it is an open collaboration, which means anyone can join. You just need to let Susan know, and you need to put her video link in your video and then post it. It must come up live sometime on Wednesday. So this week the prompt was grunge it up. You don't have to go by the prompts, but I decided that I would. So this week is grunge it up. So I'm going to show you a couple things that I've made already, and then we'll make some together and I'll show you what I'm using. So my real thing is I'm trying to use some stuff up that I've had in my stash forever and a day, and a lot of you who are Tim Holtz fans will recognize some of this. So I made this one here, and there are multiple layers on this, but I'm trying to keep them very thin. This is probably the thickest one here because I have an actual little button here, but multiple layers. And these are all, of course, grungy. And we'll make some together. And then there's this one. And there's this one. These are so fun. I love making these clusters. And these are actually a little bigger than I'm used to making. But they can be used as little pockets or tuck spots, or, you know, just decorations, or they can actually be used on the cover of smaller journals. So I'm just going to put those to the side. So on these ones that I made here, I was using some, for the backing to make it a little bit sturdy, I was using some pieces cut off from a manila folder. You know, when you make a manila folder, folio or something like that, or something like this is actually made from a manila folder, my neutral paper little pouch. You get all those cut-offs. So I put the cut-offs in here and I used those as the base, but I'm out of that. But then I got an idea, why not, because I have tons of paper in here, all neutral, but lots of paper. Why not just use a cluster of paper together as the base, because it's fairly thick. And I did do this one right here. The base is several sheets of paper together. So let's go ahead and make one, and we'll just go through the process. I do ink it up because it is grungy, but of course that is personal preference. You don't have to. And some of the things I have, these are just some scraps of stuff I was working with. This is actually just brown packaging from something. I don't know what that was from. And this is a pieces of old piece of striped vellum, some pattern paper, instructions, some written, this is from a journal. I've got some vintage doily pieces, some different laces and lace pieces. And I really wanted to incorporate this is crepe paper. And someone, who was it? Someone who did the collab last time was using tissue paper, and I thought that that was such a good, it's the Prince, it's got print, I think it's the girl who has the Prince something in her YouTube channel. She was using tissue paper, and I thought I'd use my vintage crepe paper. I've got pink, blue, and white. I've got a little bit of fuzzy, these are just snippets of little fuzzy yarn that from other projects, and then of course all the papers in my folder here. Then I've got these Tim Holtz. This is the stuff I want to use up. These are the Tim Holtz, one of the botanical or garden themed die cuts. And then I have these stickers. These are not Tim Holtz, but they look Tim Holtz-ish. And then these two Tim Holtz books. These are Tim Holtz sticker books. And I've had this stuff literally for years and years, so I want to get rid of it. And I don't want this video to be too long because I know this group is growing, and which is great fun. So I'm enjoying everybody's videos are so wonderful. So I'm going to try to keep this short so you'll have plenty of time to go see everyone else's videos. So I just tore the edges here. This is going to be my base. I think it's about maybe 5 or 6 pieces of the paper, and let's see what we're going to put on here. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and maybe I like to have my papers have different shades of grunge. I'm just tearing this vellum, and I'm going to look in here and see what I have. I mean, I've got so much paper in here. Okay, this is just a piece of I think it's called a fly leaf from a book. So we're just going to put that somewhere. And I'm just going to kind of get some elements and just kind of layer them up, and then I'll feel for where I want to go from there. Okay, and then this is that piece of that pattern paper. And then we've got some writing paper. Now I want to add some either lace or lace paper. I said I wanted to use some crepe paper, so I'm going to use, let me use some of the blue crepe paper, and I'm just going to tear a piece of that. And what else do I have here? And see, all of these layers so far is still super thin, and that's what I'm trying to keep everything super thin. And then I've got this piece of a doily that I'd want to use up. So then really all I got to do is figure out what I want to use for a focal point. So I'll go for one of these Tim Holtz things here. Here's a pretty bouquet. That one might be pretty, but I did use the blue tissue instead of the pink or the other color. So let me see if I can't find something. That's kind of large, that big birds there. Let me just sort through here real quick and see if I can't find something that has some blue on it. Now this little card here, all right, we're gonna go with this little card here. I don't want to think, you know, when I do the clusters, I enjoy making them so much, but I don't want to overthink everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and start inking stuff up because today's prompt is grunge it up. You know, that means really grunge it up. So at least to me. So I'm going to go ahead and put on, I am using walnut distressed stain from Ranger Tim Holtz, and I'm just using my little one because if you notice my desk is brown. I'm at the cabin working. I will not be at the cabin when this goes live, but when I'm making this video. And see now, because I've got this little cluster of paper, I can kind of just, if I want them separated a little bit, I could just kind of separate them a little bit, you know, right to left and or up to down a little bit. These two are stuck together. I'm not sure why, but that's okay. I can maybe just do something like that. So it kind of looks like a cluster of paper, but like I said, having several layers of paper like this actually makes the thickness of something like a manila envelope. So then let's go ahead, and I've got this. This is kind of large, so maybe we need to put that on. I'm not going to ink the crepe paper because it's really, it doesn't show in the camera too well, but when you look at it in person, it is very kind of faded and yellowish looking anyway. So let me just see here. I think what I'm going to do is get this doily on, and I'm just going to kind of get a piece of scrap paper here, and whatever you ink on, you know, when you, like I'm using this piece of scrap paper to ink this doily and grunge it up a little bit, I can then use that piece of paper underneath on my next one, and it's partially inked already. It actually has a cool pattern on it because I did the doily. So I'm going to just do that, and then I'm going to put the doily, I think, here. Then we'll put some of the blue paper on like that. I'm wondering if, like, I could do something to make the ends curl a little bit. Maybe something like that to give it a little, but it says it will give it a little bit of visual depth, but not actual depth because it is so thin, you know, and it will get smushed down. So we've got that going on like that. And then I'm going to turn that a little bit so you can see it. We've got this piece of paper, which is just the flyleaf page, and I'm just going to ink that up. Now, most of my edges are torn, but every once in a while I will leave a flat edge like that. Although this paper is so brittle, it actually did kind of tear a little bit while I was inking it. So we can put that there. And then we could put this here like this. I'm going to actually put that at an angle too. I'm very linear, and I do like to, I think that's a compulsive thing, like to line things up like soldiers sometimes. But I've really learned since having my antique shop and having to display and stuff that you can't just line everything up in a row and have it look good. But I'm trying to get over that in my art by making things a little askew sometimes like that, which, you know, right now I'm probably about hyperventilating. And then I've got this little piece of paper there that has that. Okay, that'll work. So I'm going to put that angled slightly at another direction. And you can hear this paper is actually so brittle. It's breaking while I'm inking it, but that's okay. I'm not upset about that. That's fine. So I'm going to kind of put that down like that. And then we're going to put the card in the middle. Now, I don't particularly want that card to have a staple in it. I know that most clusters you just staple. I can grab everything with one staple, and this is fine. But what I prefer to do is to actually just glue my last focal point on, so I'm not impaling something like a butterfly or something, or a person's face, you know. I just prefer to glue it on. I think one of the ones I showed you earlier I had stapled through it, and it might be one of the flower ones, but there you go. That's how easy it is right there, guys. Right there. And this is such a wonderful, making clusters is such a wonderful way, honestly. I mean, I know you hear this all the time, using up your scraps, but if you've got folders and folders and folders of paper like this, and like this grunging up one, this is all I brought as far as paper for these, because I knew everything in here is kind of grungy to begin with. But I'm going to make bunches more. I'm having so much fun making these. I'm going to make some more while I have this stuff out. And there it is right there. So guys, in very little time, I made all these clusters, and I'll just show you again. And if you do not have distress ink or distress stain to distress your edges, I think it is Crafty Irina who uses brown shoe polish to grunge her stuff up. So, you know, don't think you don't have everything that you need. Just odd papers, even junk mail, you know, the insides, I might here like this, the insides of envelopes, stuff like that makes great papers to make these little clusters. Cut out some pictures from magazines for your little focal points. You know, get some old fabric or some old clothes, an old shirt you don't like, and tear it into strips and use that for layering if you don't have lace or anything. So guys, I just wanted to give you some ideas. Thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to go to Susan Heil's channel, which I will link below, and watch all the other videos for this week for the grungy clusters in the Crafty Clusters collab. And if you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate if you subscribe. Hello to all my new subscribers. I appreciate you joining me. And until the next video, guys, I hope you're all truly blessed. Bye-bye.